crikey! It's pre-order day! Yay! I like pre-order day. Well, I say that, it's always a bit manic, but yes, I can... Oh, I left my... That's sad. Well, it's fine, actually, because I can only show the front cover. Hello, Lexi. Hello, Carol. Sorry, the first one dropped out, my coffee, which says, is it the right way around? So it may contain Prosecco. It doesn't. It's far too early in the morning for Prosecco. So yes, I was up at about 6:30 to do my pre-order. So that was good. Can't wait. Lots of catalogues coming. I dread to think how many boxes are going to arrive, but there we go. I like coffee. So I hope everyone is keeping well. Let me know how your day is going so far. If anyone is wondering, so we have any demonstrators here? Hi, Renee. Any demonstrators here wondering which one of the very first items was that I put into my pre-order? Don't think that's actually grammatically correct, but you get what I mean. There's a new sunflower set. Oh, I can see Nora's just popped in. Hi, Margaret in... Come knock. Anyway, Scotland, I'm suggesting. Hi, Jeanette. So, it's really... the pre-order is amazing. So I did get a little sneak early... because I know demos in South Pacific, one or two of them did let me know what was on the pre-order list, or what was some of the pre-order list, not all of it. And because the flower suite was on it, that was it. I didn't need to worry about anything else. That was yay. There are one or two things I still want to get, but that's fine because in June I'll be able to get it all. So that's excellent. And fortunately for me, I managed to max out the Celebration rewards, because for those of you who don't know, as demonstrators during Celebration we get some rewards. Hi B! We get some rewards for sales, recruiting, that sort of thing, and I managed to max those out completely. So that helped pay for some of my pre-order. Only some of my pre-order, I have to say, but it was fine because it's product credits. We get product credits, and we can spend them until like the middle of June. So I have to say all of my product credits have been used on my pre-order. I do still have something back. Sorry, I've got WhatsApp messages coming at me, which isn't helpful. So yes, I have still got some credits that I bought with are flex points, which are like nectar points. So I do still have that hanging around, so I may have to use that on my order in June, but I don't know. Those of you who are on the list for getting the new catalogue from me, just to let you know, I think I did share that the warehouse in Germany had an electric outage a couple of weeks ago, which caused a problem with some of the equipment. It has been fixed. It was fixed fairly quickly, but because it all happened at about the same time as the retirement list came out, which meant that the number of orders went through the roof because everyone was trying to get things while they were available and reduced. They are still playing catch up. I have posted on my website, I've got a banner across the top which scrolls, and I have put on there that they are taking a little longer than they thought they were going to. I'm trying to get more information, and when I do, I will let you know, but it does mean that my catalogues could take a little while to arrive, but I will get them out as early as I can. Fortunately, I have postage stamps here that I can use, so I don't need to go to the post office, which at the moment is obviously something one doesn't really want to do. We have a local sub-post office, which is about the size of a car, and Sorry, I was just getting rid of a notification. And they are, hi Margaret, they are socially distancing, but you still have to go into a tiny, tiny shop, which is probably, I don't know, a couple of times bigger than my craft studio. And then you have to go into this little cupboard at the end, which is the post office. I would rather not. They're lovely, they're doing a great job, but I'd rather not go in there, and it's the only post office that's open around here, because we mostly have sub post offices. So if the shop that they're in is shut, then the post office is shut, and that's most of the issue, which is part of the reason why I got stamps. So as soon as they are in, this is I'm going to get the envelopes ready and labelled. I can't put the stamps on until I've weighed everything, but I will get them out as quickly as I can. So if you've placed an order with me in the last 12 months, you will get a free catalogue. That will be in the first batch, and then I do have my usual, if you want a catalogue, let me know on my website, and those will be going out as a second batch, and probably not until after the launch, because by the time I've got the ones that I've ordered and got those out, it will probably be after the new catalogue is launched. And breathe. Right, okay, so I think we've got a good number of people here. Bit of housekeeping. So as ever, when we flip the camera, I will do my best to keep up to date with the comments. If it's anything radical and I miss it, I'll catch up with that when I post this as a replay. If there is a live red square there, then it's live, and I will try and find the comments. If there's no live red square there, it's not live. And if you're watching this on YouTube, it's not live, because this is a Facebook Live. So if you could just bear that in mind, I have been mentioning it, and I still get some comments that are clearly from someone who thinks they're live. So things like it's pixelating and stuff. Not much I can do with that if it's a replay. Not much I can do about it anyway, but there we go. So, as you know, we do giveaways. I do giveaways for every Facebook Live that I've been doing. I am still waiting for the last 2 people to let me have their addresses. Let me just tell you who they are. So if you haven't sent me your address, now might be the moment to do it. So Marilyn Skorka, you won the Make a Splash stamp set, which I drew last week. And Margaret Page, you won the Happy Birthday celebration stamp set that I drew 2 weeks ago. I will give you to the end of this week to confirm your address. All I need from you is that it is the address that I've got, because I do have your address anyway. It would be useful to know, because that way the catalogue will go to the right place. But if I don't hear from you by the end of this week, I will put the stamp set back in for a future prize. So today's prize it's another celebration set. Hi Jan. And it's the Sending You Thoughts stamp set, which has got some really amazing sentiments. So we've got happy birthday, we've got congratulations, we've got if loving thoughts could heal, you'd be better already, all those sorts of things. So it's quite a nice set for now. All you need to do to get a chance to win this is to share the video and put in the comments shared with a D at the end, and you can do that either on Facebook or on YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube, and I then put all the names in a mug and draw a winner, which I will do later for this week's, or the one that we're drawing this week, which is, again, it's a celebration item. It's the Power of Hope bundle, which is a lovely bundle. The embossing folder, Jan is just putting her pre-order in. Yay! Just saying, there are things already on back order. Just saying. So yes, this is this is the one we'll be drawing later. So let me pop that there and this here, so I remember, hopefully, to draw it. The names are already in my mug. So I'm going to flip the camera. Apologies, it's going to make people feel sick for a while, but I will do it as quickly as I can and with as little bother as I can. So let me cover there without pushing any buttons, hopefully. Need a bit more flex. Let's flip the camera. And if, you see, I've got a clip in the way. Oh, it's that. That's what's in the way. I don't think I can move that. I might be able to turn it around a bit. This is the clip that it's sitting on. What's that? That's my light. Okay, so that's not much I can do with that. Whoops. Let's just drop that to there. See, this is all high-tech stuff. I wish. Okay, that's probably about as good as I'm going to get it for this morning. I might be able to squish that end down a bit. Sorry. Come on, back this way. It's one of those gooseneck things, so you kind of just have to go with the flow. Right, okay, so I have got a number of projects to share with you today, and here's the scary thing. I haven't prepped any of them, by which I mean I haven't made them. To go, this is what we're going to make. So this could be interesting, and I do apologise for the fact. I wonder if I can get that out there a bit. Ooh, that works. Blinds me, but it works. Let's see if I can tip that down a bit so it doesn't blind me. I'm not quite sure why my light is in the way this week when it hasn't been previous weeks. Oh well. Hi Tracy. So I'm going to be using the Give Back set. Can't really call it anything other than a set. Let me just grab the instructions. So, sorry, there was something came up on my... So this is the instructions. So this is the COVID-19 Give Back set. Yeah, I'm winging it. It's what I mostly do, frankly. So this is the COVID Give Back, which is only available to buy in dollars, but you can obviously convert. It works out at about £9.50 in sterling. It does depend on how you pay, because if you pay by credit card, some credit cards have a flat charge for paying in a foreign currency, so that's probably not the best way to go. And it won't take PayPal, unfortunately. So do have a look at how is the best way to do it. But as I say, it's about £9.50. That sort of figure, but it's only $12. It's a bargain, and you get 15 pages of images. I've got most of them still. I've cut lots of them out. I've printed them on Whisper White and on Very Vanilla. So these are some of them on Very Vanilla, and I will be using one of the Very Vanilla ones later. What's lovely about these, if you've got a printer that... Hi Catherine from Sheffield. If you've got a printer that will take the card. Now my printer is one of those ones where you put it in, you know, like that, and it goes, and it's very happy to take the smooth cardstock, so the Whisper White and the Very Vanilla smooth cardstock. So it's the one that you get 40 sheets in a pack, and it takes it without any problem at all. Now, one of my customers said if you have a problem printing out, you may find that what you need to do is to just get your bone folder and rub it along the edge of your cardstock first, and I think that just gives it a bit more of a bite when it's feeding into the printer. But anyway, I'm just passing that on. So I love these. So business on top, PJs on the bottom for anyone who's working from home, but for work. I love this too. So I finished Netflix. I think I'm kind of in that space actually. I've just been working on my homebody, is one of the ones I will be using. Quarantine and chill. What a year this week has been. Love that. Wishing I was in quarantine with you. And stuff. Spread joy, not germs. I'm smiling under my face mask. And there's these lovely ones about toilet paper and the like. And the one we're going to be using this morning, or one of the ones we're going to be using this morning, is the black version of this. So most of the things come in a colour and black and white. It cost me just over £9.80. Thank you, Catherine. As I say, it depends on the credit card. I've got a credit card that does a conversion rate that is not the best conversion rate, but it's a conversion rate rather than a flat rate, because it works out better for me, because I pay for various things in dollars on a monthly basis, and my other credit card charges £3 a go. So if I'm paying £8 for something, I don't want to pay £3 just for the privilege. So there we go. So that's that. The money, all of the money, to all $12, goes to one of the two charities. One is one of the World Health Organization charities, and one's a Unity charity. Can't remember it now. But you can either send it to one or other, or split the money between the two. So, swallowing my uvula, not a good idea. The first one we're going to do is the one I was talking about, which is I've just been working on my home body. I've got most of the bits ready. Yes, I have. So that's going to be my liner. This is pumpkin pie. It's going to be quite a bright one, this. I've got Mango Melody to go on top. I've got a scrap of pumpkin pie, and then I've got a liner, well, not a liner, a mat to go on there, and this I'm using as a scrap for stamping. So this is going to be stamped and punched. This is going to be punched. This is the printout, and then I'm going to show you a trick with this piece and a stamp. Not a stamp, a punch. Duh, my brain. I'm using one of the retiring sets that I believe is still available, and it's the On to Adventure set. This is actually one of the ones that I featured on my YouTube channel, today's Tuesday, yesterday, that I'm actually quite sorry to see leave, because it's a set for older people, but it's not crinkly people. It's just older people. Which I think is quite nice. So, you know, just because you're older doesn't necessarily mean you're crinkly. I would like to think, anyway, as I am officially older. So, I'm just going to attach that to my block. I'm going to stamp it in Memento. And I've just realised I haven't brought over the blends that I need, but there we go. So I'm going to stamp this reasonably towards the, you know, away from the edges, because I want to ultimately punch this out. So let's just, there we are, lovely image. And I thought this was, because this is a yoga position apparently, I thought that would be fun. So I'm just going to grab the blends that I should have brought over. Those and those, and oh, let's go crumb cake. Right, don't need that many. So this is the ivory blend. Now, blends appeared on the retiring list, caused all sorts of panic, not least of all from me, because with a certain amount of inevitability, I had just ordered a whole new set, because I had started just before we went into lockdown starting face-to-face classes. I already had my coffee and card sessions, which is what this is replacing. And my blends have been taking a little bit of a knock because they are being used by everybody, which is fine. I have no issue with that. But I thought I would have a set for me and a set for class. So I had just ordered a whole new set. And then, of course, we go into lockdown. And then on the retirement list, there are blends. However, happily, the blends are just not going to be available singly. They're they're going to, so that was the ivory. I don't know if I said that, that's ivory. So yes, we are still doing blends. In fact, we have new blends coming in. So we've got the in-colour blends. I think we've got 4 colours of in-colour blends and then another colour. Don't ask me which colours we've got because I can't remember and my catalogue is over in the house and I'm not. So crumb cake for the hair, because just because you're a little older doesn't mean you get grey hair. My hair is getting greyer the longer it is since I had my hairdresser go anywhere near it. But there we go. It's getting greyer and longer. So that's dark crumb cake. And then I'm just going to add some light crumb cake over the top. And then I've got the Mango Melody, which for some reason until about 8 weeks ago I hadn't realised we even had Mango Melody in blends. So yeah, weird, huh? That's just me. It's just the way I rock and roll. So that's the light. So hopefully that's the dark. It is the dark. So this is a really easy image to colour in because the shading's there, which makes life very easy. I might actually grab a darker pink to just give her some colour in her cheeks. She's looking a little washed out. She's looking like me without makeup. So who other than Catherine has already bought the COVID-19 give back? Or is it just me and Catherine? Anyone else? I think. No one else. Okay, that'll do. So I'm just going to add, this is light Calypso Coral. I'm just adding a few dots of that, which I will then blend out. I went a bit too far over there, but we'll even it out. Jan has bought it, okay. Are you enjoying it? Did you manage to print it all right, or have you not printed it yet? That gives her a bit more colour. Right, so we need to do the flower. So I'll just use dark Mango Melody for that. And then I just need to put some ground on. And it's pretty much done. Ground, I just do a quick sweep. Haven't had a chance to print it off yet. Okay. Hi, Maxine. So, ground, simple. A bit more of the light just to blend that out a bit. And we will call that coloured. So let's pop that in my bin, so I know that's not bin, that's what's the word I'm looking for? Tub. That's the word I'm looking for. Right, so I'm going to grab my 2-inch circle punch. Jan's printed it on Whisper White. I think, Jan, that's probably the best colour to print it, or colour isn't really the right word. I think that's probably the best thing to print it on, but it does work quite nicely on the Very Vanilla, which was a surprise. So this is the 2-inch circle punch. I'm actually just going to come in with my blends one more time because I don't like that white bit at the bottom. Oops, let's try the brush end. It just doesn't sit right with me. That's better. So there is one card I must share with you if I can find it. Always a problem. There we go. So I made this. Oh, you need ink, Jackie. Yeah, I have to say I've got one of. I'll come back to what I've got because you may find it a good idea. So we've got a competition going on, not competition, a bingo in effect going on in our team room. Creative Mania. And it's to use all sorts of things. So you just pick squares and make a card or a project using them. And this was my entry for designer series paper and no stamps, because this is a printout. And this is actually, well, it's not toilet paper, it's a tissue, but I just thought it would be fun. So yes, and I just fussy cut it lots. Right, so I've got that going. I'm going to grab my Starburst punch and a piece of pumpkin. I have to say this is a colour scheme that is not one that I would generally use, but that's fine. We're allowed to do things a little differently every now and again. I'm just clearing the decks a wee bit because I've got almost no space on my craft desk at the moment. So let me grab some adhesive and thank you. That's better. So just grab that, pop that on there. I do like using the wet glue for things like this where you've got a very small margin, because it does mean you can move it a bit. So that's that. Right, now that's going to go kind of there, and that's going to go kind of there, but with this piece behind it having punched it. The reason that is important is because I am going to do some inking, which would have been a whole lot easier had I brought my ink pad over. So I've got Mango Melody, and I'm just going to grab a small block and add, this needs re-inking. So I've added some ink to that, and I just want to grab my bottle of glycerin. I haven't gone completely mad, honest I haven't, and I'm just going to pop a tiny bit of glycerin on that, and this is ordinary, just, you know, food glycerin, and it just helps to spread the ink in a more even fashion. So I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap paper, because I'm going to go off the edge probably, and I've got a brand new piece of grid paper here, so I don't want to spoil it yet. Hello Valerie, hello Marion. So I'm going to start where this is going to be hidden, just so that I can make sure it's working, and it is. So just adding that tiny bit of glycerin just makes it a much easier blend. So I just wanted that kind of with a bit of colour coming out from underneath. Might go out a wee bit more, and then that. So just a little tip, that tends to make things work better. So I would show you how to do it without, but of course I've now got glycerin on the dauber. Right, let me just clean my block and my stamp, and then I will show you this tip for stamping, not stamping, punching. I really haven't got my brain in today. I mean, I know that's no different from normal, frankly, but yeah. Right, okay. So we don't need that anymore. I had a post on my Facebook page earlier this week. I should say that was the Everyday Label Punch, and this is the, is this Label Me Pretty? I think it's Label Me Pretty. Yeah, on my Facebook business page earlier this week, I had Label Me Lovely. Just a random question. How many stamp sets do you think I have got that are on the retiring list? Including autumn winter and spring summer, it's about 87. So quite a lot. Fortunately, quite a lot of them were free, so it's not so bad. Right, now what I have decided I'm going to do is I'm going to have my punch going this way. So I popped this on here. I like to do this with punches, and I worked out that you can actually fit the classic, no, everyday label punch quite nicely onto this, but you don't want these square bits at the end. So I've cut my piece of card, and it's 3/16 underneath 2 inches wide, and then I'm going to pop it into my punch from this side. Whoops, at least I would if I could get it in there. Maybe it'll go in this side better, but you only want one side in. Come along, you can do it. There we go. So what you want to do is have it so that it's only just in. And can you see, if I hold that, I've got it lined up with these 2 little corners here, and it's parallel to the straight lines. So if I then punch, I get that shape, and then I can do the same again on the other end. So I'm stretching the length of the punch. So just because you've got a punch, don't think that's the only size you can have it. You can have it any size you want. Well, with most of them you can. Maybe I should say with a lot of them you can. So again, I'm just making sure that everything is lined up and punch. And then, so those are my 2 scrap bits. And then this is a completely different shape because I've tucked the ends off. So I've not got these square bits here. So it's that way. And that then will take my, I've been working on my home body quite nicely. So again, I'm going to add some liquid adhesive to that and pop that in place. And again, because it's the liquid adhesive, I can play with it for a little while to make sure that it's as square as I can get it. And then we've got a nice shape without having another punch. And then that can go there. So this card is almost done. Hurrah! Okay, so I need, let's build it properly. So I'm going to pop my, actually I'll use snail for that. So I have got, so snail, you may have heard, is retiring. There will be a replacement adhesive. In fact, there's maybe 2 tape runner adhesives. So that's nice to know. Some issues with humidity, and we are hoping that the new one won't have that issue. Let me just rubber that, burnish that properly. And then, as I say, this is going to be quite a bright card, and I don't care. What a useful tip for the punch. Yeah, I love looking at punches and seeing what other shapes you can get out of them. I'll show you how I come up with the measurements in a moment, and it's not scientific, really. So that's that. Let me pop some snail on the back of this. I do prefer a tape runner on both Whisper White and the vanilla, the thinner cardstock, purely because it's less likely to buckle the card. Well, it won't buckle the card, whereas the glue might buckle it a little bit. So dimensionals. Don't need too many of these because it's not weight bearing as such. And then I'll just have a couple on there. So let's get rid of those. Oops. Get rid of those. And pop this down here. Yeah, there. And I've just been working on my home body up there. So just a cute little card, just a bit of fun. So there we go. So to work out the width, all I do, it's sad really, is just grab a ruler and just measure. So this end has 32ths and this end has 16ths. There's metric as well for those of us who are in the modern world, which isn't me. So I literally just lined this up with this edge here, and then this is 2 inches, obviously, because this is 6 and that's 4, and I just counted back 1, 2, 3, going, okay, so I need it 3/16 below 2 inches. But you can do it for this way as well. I mean, you can do it for all of your punches. Do have a look at the shape and how you can break it down. So there we go. So that's that card. My next one is going to be blue-ish, teal. So this is I Can't Wait to Social Undistance with You. So I've got Pool Party card base. I'm going to be using the Enjoy Life stamp set. So let's just do that. Ooh, there's a thought. Just had a thought. It's sad, isn't it? I've just had a thought. So I cut this out with one of the rectangles, the stitched rectangle dies. That one, I think, was it that one? Yes. And I think I might actually cut a... Is there going to be room? That's the question. So if I cut that, that's quite large. No, not going to. I was just wondering whether I could put a mat underneath. I might still put a mat underneath, just not with a rectangle, a stitched rectangle. I might just grab a piece of scrap pineapple. Not pineapple. This isn't pineapple. This is what this is. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Pretty Peacock, that's what it is. So let me just, I've just decided I want this on a coloured thing, mat. So I am just going to, this is, where's my ruler gone? There. So this is 1 1/4-ish. This is where I need my old school ruler that is only about, 55 years old, 50 years old. So that's 1 1/4. So I'll go 1 1/2. So 1 1/2 by 3 1/2. Yeah, 1 1/2 by 3 1/2. Okay, so this is my mini chopper that I got in... it was available during Celebration if you joined. So 1 1/2, is that going to be about right? Yes, 1 1/2 by 3 1/2. It's really good for chopping up little bits and pieces, but unfortunately isn't available now. Sorry. Right, so let's pop that away. Okay, so I've got a smaller piece and a larger piece. The larger piece will go on the inside just for writing on. So let me just add my... So the colours that are in the printing are on that sheet that I showed you. So you don't have to guess the colours, which is helpful. So each page has got a list of the colours and a list of, or suggested list for any punches and those sorts of things that you might want to use. So I'm just going to use the lady who is going hurrah, and for the inside, miss you. This is retiring, so sorry, another thing going. And I might just, so this, I think of this as a silhouette set, so I'm not looking to have any form of exciting colour. Hi Sarah. It's just going to be like, yeah, silhouettes, but I'm going to do my silhouettes in Pretty Peacock. So I'm just bringing this in again, purely because I'm going to stamp this over the edge. So that's that stamp. Then I need another block for that. Sorry, stretching across, so we'll pop that on there. And this can go on my little block there, and then that can go on there. Right, okay, so I'm going to stamp the lady first, just so that I can see where she is, and then I can work around her. So this is the Pretty Peacock, so we've still got Pretty Peacock. This is with us for another year. So I'm going to have her kind of there, I guess. And I always like to hold particularly my photopolymer stamps to the page for a reasonable length of time to allow the ink to attach itself properly. I need to clean my chamois, I think. So that's that one. And then I'm going to build up, it's all right, it's the back. I'm going to build up the greenery. And I'm going to overlap. I'm very happy to overlap. And then I'll switch over to this one. This is a slightly different shaped image, but I don't like things sort of standing in the middle of nowhere. So just by having a bit of extra foliage, it does make it look as if she's possibly standing on the ground. So I'm literally just building up. It's not scientific in any way, shape or form. And then my last stamp is for the inside. Be better if I actually put the stamp fully on the block. Seems like a plan. Hi Una. Hopefully your extra bits will be with you very soon, Una, if they aren't with you already. So that's all the stamping on that. So we just need to put it all together. So not a difficult card to make. I mean, come on, let's face it, it's me. It's not going to be difficult. When did I last do difficult? Well, actually, I do some difficult. For those of you who like challenge groups, I have got a challenge post coming out in about 15 minutes for the spot challenge. So have a look at that with video. And then next week, there's another Inspire Create challenge, and look at that, isn't that sad? And that is using a card that I made some months ago. It was with the Ladybird Celebration set, and it was a flip card, and that is what everyone is using as their launch point. So that's going to be interesting. So I'm going to have to make another flip card, and that actually will be my last Inspire Create challenge post for a while. I'm trying to be a little bit more realistic about what I can do. hopefully, Una, say it's all been posted. It was posted last week, so it should be with you soon. It just depends on what the post is like. Some things are getting here really quickly and some things are taking forever, so the same's going to happen in reverse, obviously. So I'm using black dimensionals because this is a dark cardstock, and that's kind of how I decide which one I'm going to use. And I'm just going to pop that kind of centrally. There. So again, a really simple card. I think at the moment, my theory is, hi Maureen, my theory is that it's better to make a quick card to send to someone and send lots of them than spend a lot of time making one or two. I just think it's part of the reason the post is slow. But yeah, I just think it's quite nice to send cards to people at the moment, particularly if they're on their own. Was having worries where my order was, as ordered it a week and a half ago. Great news, just been shipped. Excellent. Yeah, the warehouse, as I mentioned earlier, they were hoping that everything was going to be back on track last week, but it has taken them a little longer than they anticipated. So at the moment, orders are taking a little while. I've got a customer order that's outstanding from the 24th. And there's not much in the order, so it's not that it's a big order. And none of the items are on back order or anything like that. So there is no reason other than they had the problem with the picking machines. But I know they are doing everything they can to get back on track. Didn't help that there was a bank holiday in Germany because they celebrate May Day as a bank holiday, or public holiday, one or the other. So yeah, but I know they are doing things like working overtime and those sorts of things. So hopefully things will start shifting fairly quickly. So that's that one. So let me pop that in my bucket. So we've only got one more, and then we can get on to things like drawers and all that good stuff. So this is really easy. So this is very vanilla. So again, very vanilla base. Just burnish that. Because it's very vanilla, I won't put a lining in. I don't tend to put linings in Whisper White or Very Vanilla. In fact, I don't put them in Whisper White or Very Vanilla. They're the only colours I don't put them in. Even something like Soft Seafoam, I would still put a liner in. So this is just a rectangle die. It's the second from largest stitched rectangle, I think. Don't quote me on it. And I've just taken the whole sheet of bits together. So have another quarantini. It's like a normal martini, but you drink it at home alone. And I thought that would just be a fun card to make as well. So I've got some blends that I'm going to use. I don't often use blends on vanilla, so this will be interesting. This is Old Olive as a matte. So I am thinking I'm going Old Olive for my olives. Funny that. Below the waterline, I'm going to use the light Old Olive. And because it's on the Very Vanilla, the colours will be slightly different. And then above the waterline, and I use the word water loosely, I'm going to go dark Old Olive for some of it. I'm going to just do where the pit is in dark just first, and then I'm going to add dark there because it's in shadow, and dark there because it's underneath. And then with my light, I'm going to just blend that out, being careful not to go into the pit. I'll just add another layer of the light to the areas that would be shaded under the surface of the liquid. I don't know how well you can see that is shaded. I will have pictures on my website. I'll post this on my website later in the week, and I'll add close-ups. So I'm going to have petal pink for my martini, just because it's a colour. So no other reason than that. Because my martini can be whatever colour I like. So there. I may just put a little bit, so that was the light petal pink, and then put some dark just at the bottom there, and blend that out. Now I do find that the Very Vanilla is more likely to bleed. It's also coming through the back more than the Whisper White. I have no idea why. It just happens like that. Oops. Dark soft seafoam. So I'm going to have my glass in soft seafoam, mostly because it's actually quite a nice soft grey. I mean, I know it's not a grey, but it has the look of grey. And because it's a pale colour, it works quite nicely as glass. And then the light, whoops, for the rest of it. I just like to not have no colour on the glass. It just feels odd to me. So that's that. So there's our Quarantini. My brain went there for a moment. Now, I'm going to actually pop this up a bit, and I just want to see. I'm pink, therefore I'm spam. Wonder if that would work. No, I was just thinking about adding some ribbon, but I don't think I will. I mean, it could go here, is all I'm thinking. I'll have a look in a minute. So I'm gonna attach this first. Don't need nearly that much glue. Don't know why I've done that. But that's just the way I go every now and again. So that's that. Let me just have a little look and see what I might want to add. There's nothing in there. The only thing I'm wondering is whether the old olive from the Ornate Gardens suite What do you think, ladies? With or without, and if with, underneath the Quarantini or underneath the Home Alone? What do you reckon? I'm going to pop this up on Dimensionals, but do we want a ribbon? Can't decide. I'm thinking possibly not, but let me know what you think. I'll give you a little while to think. While I'm waiting for you to think. Thank you, Marilyn. Now, Marilyn, while I have you, you won the last draw, which was the Make a Splash stamp set, but I don't have your address. So can you email me? My email address is on my website. So if you can email me your address, that would be good. Thank you, Jackie. Yes, I like the ribbon under the Quarantini. Okay, got 3 no's and a yes so far. I'm going to just add dimensionals where it doesn't matter. at the moment. I think it looks like we're going for no. Some gems instead. Okay, not sure I've got old olive gems, but we can deal with that. I like the ribbon up the top. Okay, let me see what I've got in the way of gems. The champagne ones might work because we've got the petal pink. I might go with champagne gems. That one lost its backing before I could get anywhere near it, really. So I'm going to be careful because one of those has come off. Let's have a look. Champagne gems might work. I quite like that idea. Right, we're going gems. We're going gems. I knew it needed something, just couldn't decide what. So thank you very much. Oop. Right, let's get those out of the way. Now, this is the size for the North American cardstock. Green peacock gems. Okay. I'm not sure that the peacock gems would work. Oh, you mean the peacock gem? I'm with you. You mean the noble peacock gems. Okay. I'll have a look at those as well. So this is sized for North American cardstock, which is shorter and fatter than the rest of us have. So I work on this as if it's a Polaroid, you know, good old-fashioned Polaroid that's got the big bit at the bottom. And there are a number of reasons why that works. A, we're all used to seeing Polaroids these days, but also if you do picture framing, quite often you have a big than at the top. So it's kind of a thing that's done anyway. Now I hid my noble peacock somewhere because I think they are retiring. This is my, it's not, yep, noble peacock. Yay! Green noble peacock. I'm with you. I am with you. Okay. I'm glad someone knows what I've got in my stash. Right. So. Oh, we can have one on a little twizzle. And one just at the bottom there. And you know I'm going to say I like triangles, of course. So let's take a big one. Come on. And I'll have that one just there. Perfect! Thank you. Much prefer that to ribbon. Yay! So that is my last card for this morning. So all made with the basics are made with the COVID-19 give back. I think my next craft card kit in a box might well use these. Not these, but the COVID-19 set, because then we can get sentiments into the whole thing. If I do that, then, and I haven't gone completely nap on that yet, I will make sure that there are options for using other sentiments, which you may already have, so you don't have to do this. Hi, Christine. I'm just going through, this is what we've done so far this morning. So yes, so my next card kit in a box may well be using the COVID-19 give back. I know it means that the price in effect goes up by between £9 and £10, depending on your exchange rate. But you'll have it forever. And it's a good cause, and it's just a thought. Thank you, Catherine. That's very kind of you. So there we go. Those are they. So remember, did I tell you what? No, I didn't, did I? I didn't tell you what today's prize was going to be. And I put it down, and I haven't, no, I did tell you what today's prize was going to be. I haven't done the draw for 2 weeks ago. So let's just pop those there. And I've got the names in the hat, and it's the draw for the Power of Hope bundle from Celebration. So these are all the bits of paper with names from previously. Thank you, Marion. So let me give, and see who's won. So who's won? Karen Sutton. So Karen Sutton, you have 2 weeks to claim your prize. Just send me an email with your address, and this will wing itself to you. Thank you, Jan. I'm going to pop that in there just so that I know it's all together. So if you're in the UK, Karen, then I'll send it to you without postage charge. If you're not in the UK, we'll have a talk about how to get it to you. But that's from this week's draw. And then, just as a reminder, I still need Margaret to claim this one. Whoops, don't want to show her address to you all. Let's remove that. This is the address I already had. So, Margaret, you need to claim yours. Marilyn, you need to claim yours. This is this week's prize, which will be drawn in 2 weeks. And there's still time to share this, the one we did last week. This will be drawn next week, and it's the Well Dressed Celebration set. Happily, or not, depending on your point of view, when I went through my retiring sets, I have found some that have yet to see ink. So there may well be a few others coming very soon. So there we go. Karen Sutton, please claim this. I may well set up a page for claiming prizes on my website so that it's easier, but I'll have a think about that. Thank you very much for joining me today. Do remember, if you share the video, thank you. And do remember to put shared in the comments. You can share either from Facebook or from YouTube. So if you're watching this on the YouTube replay or the Facebook replay, you can still share. You've got 2 weeks to do that. Do remember that if you don't have the word live in the top right left hand corner of your screen, it is a replay, so I won't be able to respond to comments in real time. Thank you very much indeed for joining me this morning. Please stay safe, please stay well. 2 meters is not too far apart from people, so let's just be sensible. Hi Julia, we're just finishing up, but I think we're at that dangerous stage at the moment, certainly in the UK, where because people are starting to talk about how we're going to come out of lockdown, certainly from what I have been seeing coming through the village, people are beginning to be a little lax. So please, please, please do be safe. Thank you, Nora. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, Catherine. So I will say goodbye and look forward to seeing some of you next week as well, hopefully. Yay! Keep well, keep safe, and here's to next week. Bye!